Good evening, folks. Hello, Lance.
Hello. I've got my mug.
I like this mug because it's the thermal one, which means when you drink out of it, it makes it look like it's really dirty.
Yes. Courtesy of the Reaper Airsoft team. Thank you very much. I'm going to tip all that over my keyboard, so I'm going to put that down. Oh, dear.
Hi, Wayne, Nick, Danny.
Oh, yes. Look, I'm just going to make a little note about Danny being a plum with my NoFo pen. Funny enough, I've got a little NoFo pen.
Danny being a plum?
Just because it's Danny, isn't it? I'm just manoeuvring my mouse on my new NoFo mouse mat, which I got as a birthday present.
Yeah.
I should have held that.
We got spoiled. We
did get spoiled. We got very spoiled, so we're very grateful for them. Oh yes.
I don't think I've had a cup of tea in an evening for a very long time. It's quite.
I've got tea. I had a coffee, and then I thought I've made this a bit premature, and I've nearly drunk it before the show started. So I dashed and made a cup of tea quick.
I am because it does get quite hot in here, so I have also got a backup can of quite cold poor man Sprite.
Fair play. I've got I can guarantee you that it's not going to get any hotter up in here. So I will not be taking off all my clothes.
Hi, Ali Kit Review, Harry Badger, Paulus Wales, Nick. Hi, Nick. Andrew Taylor says on time for a change, but I'm still at work. Boo. Oh, sorry.
I thought we were late. Mike just ducked behind the forest.
Oh, we were late.
Went to get something.
Which I still haven't found, by the way.
Oh, dear.
I don't suppose you've got the one from the event, have you? You haven't brought that home?
Well, I did. Of course, I brought it home with me, but whether I can get to it or not is a different thing entirely, because I'm sorting out kit and boot fair kit as well.
Yes, because we're going to a boot fair.
Lance, when you change your background, I feel like you should mix it up a bit.
We're going to a boot fair.
We are going to a boot fair. Andy just completely threw me then. What's it got to do with you, Andy? Is that your background? Bugger off, kid. Leave my backgrounds alone.
Maybe,
I could grow that forest.
I could change mine. I'll have to buy another coloured camo in it.
You should have a winter one up now.
Oh. That's not bad. I don't know if white might be a bit over the top though. It might blow me out.
It might be a little bit E17. Stay now. But you could do You could do some more slow moing.
Oh, blimey. Hello, Les. Nice to see you. Hi, Ratty.
Evening all. Ratty.
He says, Mike, I'll be your background. By all means, mate.
Oh, yeah. Legs closed, mate. Legs closed.
Yeah. So we're having a boot fair, or we're going to a boot fair?
We are. We're going to the Gunman holding a boot fair, if anyone wants to meet us there, on the 18th of December at Battle Lakes. Oh!
Sorry, carry on.
Whilst I was talking as well.
Oh, I'm having such a bad day. I genuinely thought it was Tuesday. Like
he rang me up and goes, "Yeah, just wanted to have a quick chat with you before the show tomorrow." I was like, "Are you mental?" It's Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Wednesday.
I had to run home very quickly. Well, not run home. I drove, but
yeah, drove home. I drove home fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're going to a boot fair to sell some stuff. On the 18th of December at Battle Lakes, which is just the other side of town as well. So if anyone's about, let's pop down, say hello, have a cup of tea. No, I won't be selling this, by the way, but you know,
I might be selling some stuff.
If I can prize some of Mike's going to end up on that Life of Grime before long as a hoarder. Like his house is just going to be full of kit, and there's just be little tunnels cut through it for little.
I'm going to whisper this. I'm going to whisper this because my wife's next door. I bought another Bergen.
That looks like RoboCop's knob you're holding up to your mouth.
Oh, it's my microphone. I bought another Bergen. An MTP Bergen.
Can you hear me at all?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just shocked that
you're just shaking your head.
Yeah, just shaking your head. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say?
I thought you couldn't hear me.
No, I can hear you, but I will be having your other MTP Bergen off you at a massively reduced cost, or I'm going to tell your wife you bought a new one. And I was thinking about this when I said to you the other day, "Oh, I'll buy your other one off you, mate. Then if you're going to sell it, yeah, okay." I just thought, "Oh, hang on a minute. No, this is a massive opportunity for some blackmail." And I'm not even going to lie or try and hide it. I'm openly blackmailing you for your old Bergen.
At that angle, sorry, Mike's microphone looks very Ann Summers.
That's what I said. Robocop's knob. Maybe I'll tell you what. Harry needs to take a 3D print of that for his Robocop suit.
Yes.
Have that coming around the corner, all swinging away. Yeah, be like, good God. Yeah, hit. We'll take that. Just put that away. Yes, all good stuff.
Yeah.
All good stuff, mate.
So Ratty's got a good point. We're going to start our OnlyFans page with some sexy ASMR.
Ooh.
Oh, actually, I'll tell you what. You could probably do that.
Mate,
just like the racking sounds of various airsoft rifles.
Yeah, but what would you be racking in this OnlyFans area?
I've got an MP5.
Oh, you're actually talking about rifles, racking a rifle.
I thought
you were talking about adding sound effects to something in the Only. As in, like.
No. Just the HK slap constantly.
Oh, give me a head rush.
Oh.
Not that didn't give me a head rush, but on the back of my head did. Oh. Right, let's stop this.
Right.
Silly already.
So, yeah. So we're going to be at the boot fair, which will be good. So we will have some patches on us as well. If anybody wants to come and say hello, it'll be good to see you.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's a boot fair. Who doesn't love a boot fair? Get a bargain. Absolutely bargain. So yeah, I'm sorting through some kit at the moment. I'm currently filling up. I've emptied my black crate of things I want to keep, and I know I'm putting things in there that I now want to move on to a new home because I no longer require it. It's tough. I'm like, nope. And then it's like, you should put that in there. No, I won't. You should though. Yeah, I know I should, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
Just put it in the bucket. Just put it in the bucket.
It's hard. It's hard to get rid of it.
It is, mate. It is. But there we go. You know, we have to make,
but on the plus side, if we make any money, Nick's just said no new helmets.
Mike's going to go and spunk it all on new helmets.
I actually got given one at the weekend, which is pretty awesome. It's
oh, you did,
there.
Didn't you? Yes.
I did. So I do actually have a new helmet, and I've run out of space on my helmet shelf.
I reckon do you know what? I reckon you should put it in the living room disguised with some tinsel and just see if
it's the Christmas helmet.
See if the missus notices it. This is the festive helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
don't you read the Bible?
And the innkeeper said unto Joseph, "Wear thy helmet and come into
Wear thy helmet. Gold, frankincense, and a Mitch 2000. They are the gifts that Jesus received."
Speaking of which, actually, so we've launched our new competition for this year's Christmas episode.
Oh, yes.
So the Christmas episode will be on Friday, the 17th of December. We will have a special visit from a very festive airsofter, and his
that was one way of putting it.
And his tiny assistant, I guess, was the way of putting it. But yeah, the Christmas competition basically is going to be write Santa a letter. Write a Santa letter. Make it as airsoft and MilSim related as possible. The top 3 will be read out on the show by the big man himself. Not Lance.
I've had that confirmed. Yeah, I've had that confirmed. The big man, who's considerably bigger than me, will be here.
But there will be prizes. Top prize will be your very own murder bag.
Mike's murder bag. It's here.
There will be a murder bag. It won't be Mike's murder bag, but it will be a very similar murder bag to Mike's.
It's cool. The catchphrase of what was made by Mike.
Yeah. But all of the gifts, I believe, Lance, are going to be murder bag related.
Yeah, we've got a first, second, and third, haven't we? So we've got the murder bag, the murder pouch, and the murder purse. So yeah, that's all we're saying. Not saying anymore. There will be contents, obviously, within. It's not just going to be a fucking red pouch or something, but there will be bits. There will be bits.
But you can win it. So feel free to enter the competition. You can either email us your letter to Santa, or you can drop it in the contact us page on the website. We've actually already had one in.
Yeah, we really.
Yeah, we have in the 2 hours that I've posted it on the website. We now have our first entry. So feel free to chuck your letters on there, and we'll ping them off to Father Christmas.
Yes, with dear Father Christmas. This year I've been such a good boy, and I would like. Blah, 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 blah. There we go. Nice.
So go for it. Go for it.
Cool. Any purchases, mate, or anything recently?
Oh, I got some massive glow sticks, but I can't find them.
It's very dark
really
in
good. They're about that long.
They were saw it the weekend, didn't we? But I can't see where my one is either. But there we go.
I will. I'll see if I've got the photos quick. I'll ping one up on the website or on the chat.
Well, I've got a couple of purchases. One from leading on from a conversation from the event, and this one here, which was $9.99, I think it was, an individual protection kit made by Remploy Limited, 1986. So this is a single person survival protection shelter type thing, which I was talking with Terry about. So this is all coming all the out of packaging still. It's completely sealed, bagged up. And you essentially you get like a I don't know if you can see them in drawings on there, but it's like you dig yourself a big shell scrape. You cover this has got the protective waterproof shelter inside it, and it's got the sticks to go or the poles to go across the trench that you dug out. Cover it over. You can backfill it with camouflage, like leaf sort of thing, like that, and foliage from the forest floor, just to keep yourself concealed. And it's a two-man. Oh, so two-man should act as a team to build the shelter. Single kip installation instructions for trenches of up to 0.6 meters in width, so 600 mil wide. And this is your little survival. So I had to buy one because I've not seen one before. And it's like a red rag to a bull when Terry says, "Oh, you should get one of these, mate. I remember using one of these back in the day." I was like, "All right, Terry, I bought it." Boop. I was like, "Oh, fucking hell." So I got that. Oh, what's Mike sent me a picture?
I'm just going to bring it up on the screen, don't worry.
Oh, okay. And then I went a bit mad on a Black Friday sale with Olight because I've never bought Olight. I've always been lead lenser, but a lot of people rave about them. So I went for the Olight Perrin 2. Which is wicked. Also comes with the head strap, which is like over the top of your skull and around the side. It's not just a single band; it's like the triple thing, fully adjustable. This is a wicked bit of kit. I've been using this for work recently because I've had to send my lead lenser back to Lenser because one, it comes with an awesome warranty, 7 years, and two, the lithium battery wasn't charging in the rear power bank thing when I plug it into USB and try and charge it overnight. So yeah, contacted lead lenser. They said, "Yeah, we'll email you a returns form, box it up, send it to us. We'll either repair or replace it." That's it. Perfect.
Nice.
Lovely.
It's all right,
so just wait. That's got sent off. So this is wicked. 2,500 lumens. And one of the really good features I like about it, this Perrin 2, is the fact that where I'm working on a box out on the track at night time, it's completely off MilSim topic, but it's torches, it's night, same sort of thing. If I'm working, I've got like a row of terminals in front of me, all the wires and that, blah, 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 blah. You don't want 2,500 lumens of light to illuminate a box front the size of a laptop screen. So what it does, it's got a sensor on it. So when you go close to something, it actually automatically dulls down, depending on how far away the object is from you. So as I put my hand away, it brightens up, and then as I get close, it'll sort of dull it down a bit because you don't want to be just glaring into a metal box. It's just like, whoa. So I got that. So very impressed with that. It's got the old magnetic charging capability. So you just and that's it. That charges. So there's no micro USBs or little things that can get bent. It's just good solid connection on the bottom there. USB charge, all good. I got another Olight purely because it was Black Friday, and this was down from 20 quid down to, which is the i3T EOS, which is the one that Rage had on the show, I believe, for his little first aid kit. So I had to get myself a little desert, one of those bad boys, all very good. And this one is the i3E EOS, and this is about the size of my little pinky. And this one is wicked. I mean, the light that this gives off for a tiny little torch, to keep this like on a lanyard in your smock jacket or in a little pouch somewhere like that. I mean, I've got this for, these are back up to about $12.99 now, or $9.99. But you've got to get one of these torches. These are wicked. For 12, even I'd happily pay 12, 20 quid for one of these. It's the i3E EOS by Olight. It's a tiny little torch, but it's probably one of the handiest little torches, and I'm blown away by the brightness of it. I think it's 90 lumens out of this little bad boy. That one's 130 lumen. That's 90. But yeah, all three of them.
That's the sort of thing you can literally have in a little pouch or something like that. You just got a torch on you at all times.
Exactly, mate. Yeah, but it comes with a nice strong keychain thing. I mean, the thing I do like about Olight, which I've not, because I've never had any dealings with before, but is that they actually send a threading needle in the kit to get your lanyard and that through the little eyelet that's on the framework of the torch body. Do you know what I mean? Little touches like that, little threading hook, so you can push the hook through, clip it on and pull it back, and it's just making things easier for you. So really, they're packaged up beautifully as well. It's like an iPhone box when it arrived. I was like, oh, look at this, very posh. And yeah, just really cool torches. They feel really strong, robust. I love the clip, the utility clip that comes with it. So it works both ways. So you can clip it down, or it goes. So it's like an N shape, if you like. If you can see that there. So you've got like, you can clip it that side or that side. Yeah, really happy with it. So yeah,
cool.
Thank you, Rage. There you are, mate. Just right on time for my little torch. So very, very well happy with that. And I like the So yeah, I'm going torch crazy.
James C says, "O-light, more like it's just blown up." Yeah, there is a bit of an issue, I think, with some O-lights. I think the batteries are a little bit dodgy in a few places.
Well, these ones I don't think can be, because they're not O-light batteries. They're just normal AAAs.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not sure. I've only had this. I mean, to be fair, I charged this up Sunday night, and I've been using it for about 4 hours a night at work, and it's not showing any signs of running out yet. And that was part of the reason. And what I'm actually using it on is I'm using it on a high setting throughout my work shift, as and when, just to run it put it through its paces basically this week. So this is what we're on now. We're on Wednesday, so 4 days. I'm not required to put it back on charge yet, which is good. It's been in a cold car overnight, all through the day. It's been in the boot of my car, attached to my helmet. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Cool. Impressed so far. What can I say?
Harry's got a little talking point. So talking of warranties, I heard on Sunday of the first case of Vortex refusing an Airsoft shot-out lens on their lifetime warranty.
Oh.
So that would be interesting. If you've got any more information on that, Harry, ping it over, because
Trouble at Mill.
It'd be interesting to hear out.
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's one of the reasons for getting a Vortex site.
Well, you think so?
VIP lifetime warranty is meant to be covering it.
Is it because it was an Airsoft BB and not an actual nothing? What was the reason for refusing the?
I don't know. That's why I was asking Harry if he's got any more information.
Refusing an Airsoft. No, but he specifically said they're refusing an Airsoft shot out lens. So is it got to be like a 308 hunting rifle shot out lens, or?
Yeah, it's got to be a 50 cal.
Is it going to be 50 cal? Is it got to be nuked? What is it? What is this?
I'd be interested to hear more on that one.
Yeah, definitely.
So talking of purchases, Lance and I were playing around with these at the weekend. This is a jumbo green military glow stick. These are $3.49 on Survival Aids at the moment, and I'll be honest with you, I just saw jumbo green military glow stick. I was like, well, we've got to have those.
Awesome.
Basically, we were playing around with it, and we got some quite cool little pictures. This is just the one that I've got to hand.
Lightsabers.
But it's quite a sizable glow stick, and it does throw out quite a bit of light there. So, I recommend those. They're great fun.
I was shocked. I was like, this is incredible. It's like breaking a glow stick across your knee. Like, yeah, bang. And I was like, honestly, like Mr. Burns floating through the floor.
Yeah.
Floating through the forest. Yeah, and like we said, there could even be a night game prop, couldn't it? Retrieving uranium rods or something, like cooling rods, just like looking at womp. Yeah, it did emit a good bit of heat. Yeah, I like that. It was cool.
Because you had it in your basher overnight, didn't you? I think at one point you said you used it to prop up the basher.
Where I sort of readjusted my basher for the second night we stayed there, I sort of tried a different setup, really, as opposed to it being a normal apex. I actually offset it, so I had like a larger area and then like just a little peak. Worked perfectly. Loved that. And I was sort of laying there, and I thought, well, it seems a bit of waste just to lay this down on the floor. And I thought, I'm just going to push it up into the roof of the basher, and it acted as a little internal pole, and it was nice and green and bright. And I was like, a little festive green glow. Yeah, it's cool.
I will put my photo up later, Terry, because we did have great fun with the glow stick. We would just run like all different poses and stuff. Because basically, it's a big dildo-sized glow stick. So obviously, I'm also playing around with it because that sounds weird now. But
all the lads in the woods, had a few beers, one thing led to another, and what happens on MilSim stays on MilSim, doesn't it?
Going back to the O-lights, Rage says that was an issue a number of years ago with a small amount of them that was fixed. I've used O-light for years and never had a problem. Phoenix have had issues too, but I never got blown out of proportion. So
there we go. There we go.
Cool. Right. Was there anything else we wanted to chat about?
Yes, I wanted to mention about the big camp out.
Yes, go for it.
It's a little bit last minute. I wasn't made aware of it myself until recently. So So basically, there's a guy that I follow on YouTube who's a bushcrafter, outdoorsman, Land Rover guy, does a bit of everything canoeing, called Simon, a Bloke in the Woods. And he released a video recently. And during the video, he mentioned about a thing that he's doing this weekend, and he's trying to get lots of other people involved. It's basically a big camp out, and it's what you do between the 4th and the 5th, so the Saturday night into the Sunday. Camp out overnight somewhere, back garden, out in the woods, whatever. And you make a donation to cancer research, and this is all going towards a bushcrafter who's obviously recently passed from cancer, sadly. So it's just an awareness thing. You know, it's horrible. It's a lot of families. It doesn't take any prisoners really. Sometimes with cancer, it's bloody awful. So just to bring awareness, especially obviously gentlemen's like testicular cancer, things like that. For me, I've had it. I've been through it when I was younger, so it's quite close to my heart. So I'm doing a camp out this weekend, 4th into the 5th. I've not started a crowdfunding page or anything like that, or GoFundMe or anything. But if you can spare a few quid and make a donation to cancer research, that'd be awesome. I'm gonna be camping out over the forest where we were at the weekend for Saturday into Sunday night. If anyone wants to join me, you're more than welcome to. It's very primitive, but I'll be there nonetheless. So yeah, if even if it's in your back garden for the night, if you've got the kids, take them with you or something if it's not too cold. Just camp out overnight and just make a little donation to cancer research. Obviously, it does affect a lot of families. So yeah, that was it really. Thanks very much.
We got the link to the.
I think we could put that on the site, and I'll also I'll put the link to for Simon Bloke in the Woods for his thing that he does a talk about it a lot more eloquently than what I could.
We'll have a quick chat after the podcast, and we'll upload it to the website. So. Cool. Well, should we do some questions? Obviously, it's a Q&A episode. Let's launch straight into those. Where do you see NoFo in 2 years' time?
Bit bigger, maybe. A few more followers, a few more wicked dudes and ladies at the old NoFo parties every year. That'd be nice. Yeah. Just a bit. I don't want it to change. I don't think there's any reason for it to change.
I want us to do some more events. I want us to actually have some NoFo events.
That would be the big. That would be the biggest thing for me. Would be
the NoFo annual MilSim.
New Horizons. That would be cool. In 2 years' time, yeah, I think that's definitely achievable. Let's see why not. Yeah, what about you then, mate?
Well, that's it. To be honest with you, I see doing a few more events.
Just events. Yeah, like I said, this bit is I'm happy with this. I don't see why we'd have to change anything up.
I might change Lance's background between now and then.
We won't change my background. No bollocks. I might get the forest fire version and put it back.
I might see if I can get an orange camo net.
Yeah.
Maybe for
thingy now.
We're gonna get on the telly.
You wait. I'm gonna keep that picture, that image, but I'm gonna start shoehorning in like something. See, like a little Easter egg type thing. See if you can spot it. This is it now. Yeah, challenge accepted. All right, Andy. Well done.
We do actually have some new branding as well. So if we ever have any technical issues,
you did it.
There we go.
Oh dear.
So for those that don't know, basically we had our little sort of private game at the weekend. We had to sort of keep numbers relatively small, so we couldn't just have an open invite. So we sort of invited a few of the core listeners, sort of people that we see sort of week in, week out. We had a bit of a good time. Sort of camped out Saturday night. It's pretty cold. Middle of Storm Arwen, so that was fun. It was probably the windiest night I've ever been camping, and I wasn't even camping. I ended up actually staying in my car, because to be honest with you, I just wanted to give that a go. It was a bit of a trial run for me on that.
Well, it is a brand new Outlander, so why the devil not?
Yeah. It was very comfy. It was nice being able to warm the car up as well before bed, just to kind of get the space a bit toasty.
See that?
But no, it was a good event. We had some cake. Had a NoFo shaped cake, so there'll be some photos of that out on the Instagram in the next few weeks.
Thank you to Silly Gilly and his wonderful family bakery business for providing that. It was delicious carrot cake, very nice, with some walnut in there as well, I believe.
That's very tasty.
It did go down well. Yes, a nice welcoming surprise after a first morning session out in the field.
Yeah,
Hot bevy and a slice of cake.
We also did some actual. We also did some actual exercises as well, didn't we? So we kind of took the element of, obviously it's the show kind of focuses on MilSim. So we actually had was it your brother-in-law?
My brother-in-law Tom, came down.
So he was basically running through with the guys and girls, doing some actual proper. I think it was closing the barn door. I think that was what it was called.
So Tom, just as a little bit of a caveat to what Tom, my brother-in-law Tom was demobbed from the Princess of Wales Royal Regiment, basically the Tigers, about 2 years ago now. Demobbed as a sergeant instructor, and he'd done 14 years sort of front line, multiple tours, this, that, and the other. Very highly qualified from the training point of view, from weapons, tactics, this, that, and the other. Everything, command structures, the lot. Managed to finally talk him into. After hounding him for months and months to say, come on, mate, come and have a little crack and have a laugh, sort of thing. He was like, right, okay. He said, as it's you, I'll do it for you. Nobody else. And I was like, right, great, I really appreciate that. And he came down, and everyone really enjoyed it, didn't they? He said, how do you want me to be? I mean, I said, well, obviously, it's not life or death. I said, but don't hold back. Just do what you do. Just treat it as like a training session sort of thing. He was like, okay, fair enough. And he actually came away with that thing saying, do you know what? I actually really enjoyed that after being away from it for 2 years, doing what he's doing now on the railway, sort of similar to me, same environment work-wise and that, to be able to sort of pull the skills back out the drawer and put them back into practice. He said, I thoroughly enjoyed that. He said, it sort of lit a little fire in him, I suppose, a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Sort of G'd him up. He said, I really look forward to doing it again. So that was great. So thank you to everyone who done. I was out playing naughty bad man out in the woods, so I didn't really see a lot of it. But you all made a great impression on him, so I thank you for that. You didn't scare him off, didn't completely freak him out with a load of weird airsofters out in the woods. I didn't find him just on the floor like, get me away from these fucking people, quick. So thank you for that. We'll let him have it.
To have him down though. It was great.
That's good, yeah. It was good, like I said, he thoroughly enjoyed it, and from the feedback, everybody else enjoyed the training, the skill sessions, and that he done with them. So cool.
Yeah,
all good stuff.
Right, let's actually go into another question. Ratty says, what types of strap would you suggest for mobile phones during woodland battles? Asking for a friend. So the context of this question is that I have never met anyone who lost quite as much stuff as this guy did in one day.
I mean, I'm more. I know, yeah. I mean, not only did he lose the sausage out of his hot dog, I mean that thing. That I mean, whether it must have flown out that bun at such a speed it completely vaporized. But there was no evidence of this sausage, and he didn't even trip. I think he tripped, and the sausage just went straight out of the bun. But could anyone find it? No, even a sniffer dog couldn't find that, and we actually had one there. Do you know what I mean? Mental, crazy. That's gone. And he loses his mobile phone, comes back to the safe zone. He's like, I've literally lost my phone. He'd been cutting about everywhere, all over this site. So I said, well, here's my phone. Type your number in. Keep calling it as you're walking about areas that you potentially knelt down quick or went to ground, took cover. Comes back 20 minutes later. Yeah, found it. Was calling it. Just saw apparently he saw this little pin bit of light just between some leaves. It was proper dark, and he just called it. So it was little, and it was just like, what the chance? If that was me, no.
You genuinely thought that was gone. That was never going to.
I would never have found that. 100%.
Yeah.
Luckiest man alive. Fantastic. Yeah.
I mean, in terms of straps.
I mean, I keep my phone either goes inside a zip pocket, like the internal bit. The primary zip of your schmock, and you've got the internal zip pocket. Either we go in there, dangler. I mean, I don't know about a strap. I mean, you can buy them cases that clip to your rig, can't you? Your phone. Other than that, I mean, it'd be keeping it in your day sack, just keeping it in
duct tape. In the case of Ratty, it's just duct tape. Just duct tape everything to you.
Even maybe one of them forearm cases or something. I don't know, mate. I mean, I wouldn't like to suggest what you should use because I just as long as it's a nice deep pocket that zips up, then yeah, you've pretty much won the battle with that.
Yeah,
I'll push the loose out of there. And failing that, it's leave it in the car and just check it whenever you can or something like that, or leave it in your Bergen, secure in a box or something. Other than that, yeah, just a deep pocket. Pistol lanyard, oh yeah, good shout, mate. I suppose not a bad shout. Yeah, anything, any strong case has got like a
you can get
keyring.
Camera straps and stuff like that, can't you? That's
Yeah.
sort of the little.
Well, if you've got a case that's got like a keyring loop on it, like like the little, what I'm saying, like a larger version of the old little disc there. I don't know, the old pistol lanyard, I suppose. At least you can, if your phone did fall out the pocket, it's on the old boing boing, and it comes straight back at you, whack, when you're running. Just got nailed by your own phone.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I was laughing at the fact I've never heard it called the old boing boing, but then we'll go with it.
I always got the old boing boing. Boing boing.
Ray says a phone-sized butt plug so you can keep it in your prison pocket, Ratty.
Oh, yeah,
Hi, Rage, by the way. Sorry, I didn't say hello to you earlier.
Yeah.
And he said some of us were working the whole weekend while you lot were enjoying the grey outdoors. Well, you were missed. You were missed,
mate. Absolutely. I'm not going to try and fit that in my prison pocket. That's the 12 Pro Max. Rage. Nah, mate.
The 12 Pro.
I'm not having. It's not going in my prison pocket. I think that'll make my eyes water. That's a little low light. Oh dear.
Oh. Right. Let's get on to some serious questions.
Yeah, Ratty.
I'll tell you what, actually, there was one question that I know that we had a debate on over the weekend, which was quite an interesting one. Is MilSim actually MilSim? So this kind of question stemmed around the point, and I'd be interested to sort of hear a lot of comments to throw them in the chat, but I'd be interested to find out, because the conversation basically went along lines of, how much is an actual MilSim event that we do in Airsoft real? Ultimately, you are still going to an event, you're paying to be there, so you're going to want to get in the action. But how much of it do you expect there to be, stag maneuvers, or, just stag standing on guard, or just like patrols in which you don't do fuck all, or, running out of equipment? This was one of the kind of things that we were talking about, is that a lot of events you've got guys cutting around with, pockets of pyro, grenades, ammunition, you've got speed loaders. You go, right, don't worry about dying. I'm back off to the fob. I'll re-bomb up there.
That's it, exactly, yeah. There's no penalty for being loosey-goosey with your rounds and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? That's where it sort of sprang from, and then it sort of developed. It's like, well, how accurate is it? Or how accurate is it going to be to the point where will it remove the fun from it? Or does someone actually want to take part in a military experience, but without the rule set or the strictness of a military simulation, if you like? Do you know what I mean? So it's like, what do you want? Do you want it both ways, basically, or can you not have it both? I don't know. I'd like to experience one, like a genuine military experience sort of thing, like a MilSim, like a proper full on, which I couldn't comment on what it's like because I've not done one before. Well, apart from when I was in the Army Cadets many moons ago, and even then I doubt that's very accurate to what sort of goes on. So yeah, that's where it come from. Is our MilSims now actual MilSim? I think the only way you'd know that is if you had a serving or a recently former serving soldier go on one and sort of report back. Is it not achievable? Are we asking for the unachievable from the sport or the game or the hobby that we play? How accurate can you get with it? Obviously, the engagement distances are going to be far reduced unless you're in sort of CQB buildings. When a doorway to another doorway is the same in real life as it is in Airsoft, it doesn't matter. But out in the ground and forest floors, when like me and Ed had a brief conversation regarding snipers and things like that, obviously, real steel snipers engaging at 500 meters plus, whereas Airsoft snipers 50 meters plus. So that's where the scaling of it comes from, I suppose. So yeah, it's an interesting topic, though. It was an interesting topic.
Yeah, because ultimately, I guess the stem of this conversation was, potentially we've come up with a potential event that we are thinking we might like to run. It's very much in the early stages, but I guess it's kind of gauging opinion as to whether that's the sort of thing that people would actually want to do. Because obviously a lot of events where they are at the moment, You know, you're catering to ultimately what your audience want. There's no point in, for example, having a restaurant that specializes in some horrific food dish that no one's going to want to eat. Except
exactly
that one person. But at the same time, everyone's sort of, we run a whole freaking podcast on military simulation and in airsoft, and it's sort of, we sort of came to the conclusion that even the most immersive events that we've been to might be just a drop in the pond as to what you could actually, or what should actually be a MilSim.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've had a bit of time for comments to come in. So Rage says, MilSim is kind of like military exercises without all the waiting around, but you can't really compare it to the real thing. It's like a movie version of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. I like that.
Yeah. Accuracy would definitely include lots of waiting around, painting rocks and getting beasties to fall as well.
a man that knows there must be.
Yeah. MilSim is the fun elements of it and less of the BS. James C. Who would actually pay for an actual military simulation? No one would want to do it. People quite understandably want to enjoy themselves. Not that military can't be fun, but not in the same way.
Yeah, agreed. I'm thinking from my thinking would be more not so much the waiting around and the things. I'm purely spitballing here and guessing. So by no way or shape or form do I know what goes on at all really. But completely lost my train of thought then. Yeah, so for me it would be more of the challenge element of it, like i.e. going out on the ground with your 6 to 800 rounds as a rifleman, potentially 6 to 8 mid-cap mag sort of thing, and not having the ability to reload or rearm yourself without having a vehicle coming in with a resupply for you and things like that. And if you did have to do that before a certain time, there being a penalty points against your team and things like that. This is what we were thinking for the event that we were sort of considering. It's almost getting into the mindset of like choosing your engagements. Like if we get into this and it's all very, sneaky, catchy monkey sort of stuff. So if you get eyes on something, it's like, well, we've got to get there, but that's there. We're going to have to go through that to get to this. Can we achieve that after already having 1 or 2 little skirmishes further back down the track? How are we for keeping an eye on your ammo? What have you gone through? Do you know what I mean? Keeping an eye on your LMG gunner, having that ability to rearm your LMG gunner by spreading the link out throughout the team. By that, we were thinking, small bottles, 250 rounds in a bottle. Each man can carry that. Each man can carry a belt of link, and that's our belt of link, if you like, for the LMG gunner. Doing things that way, like the medic rule we come up with, to really, really bring that medic rule and that role within the team home and actually put it at the forefront of the section, rather than matey with a red cross in his arm, whacking bits of white shirts being ripped up round your arm. Blast it, yeah, back in, great, crack on. Second one, back in, crack on. Third one, dead man, go back. A totally different setup. So getting people to think more, not just getting out there. And I know that's what a lot of people want to do, is get out there, blast away, and have a wicked time. And I get that, and everyone loves that. And I disagree with anyone who says they don't love it. I love it, but then bringing in them other elements to it of really thinking about your patrol, where you're going to go, what kit you've got on you, what rounds you got on you, keeping an eye on your team, keeping an eye on your ammo limits, this, that, and the other, the comms, making sure they're all working, making sure everyone's got their little taskings within the section. And
it's making the roles more immersive as well, isn't it? I mean,
absolutely, 100%.
We kind of
and that's what we were
the
thinking.
medic thing there. We want the medic role within this to be more than just, anybody can come up to you and basically put your hand on your shoulder for 10 seconds or just strap a bandage to you. That we've come up with what we think is a potential system that would make that more interesting.
Yeah.
And it's something that we might be running potentially.
We've
got to work it out.
We are going to work it. We're going to do it on a small scale. This is what we spoke about, didn't we? We're going to do it. So who said it? Now, start small, think big. So
Terry.
That's what we're doing. We're going to Terry. Yeah, thank you for that, Tel. So we're going to do that. We're going to do it on a small scale down version first, and we're going to see how it goes and sort of tweak along, and hopefully we can make it a bit bigger then, and sort of bring a couple more teams in. It'll be a very team-based event. We're just going to be very heavily reliant on your team. Not saying that individuals can't attend. You can be put into a team if you're rolling solo or in twos. We were looking at teams of 6 and 8, maximum of 8 per team. So we'll see. There's nothing, no dates or anything yet. Christ, we're just going through the rule set and what we want people to do whilst on the event first. We haven't even considered why they're there doing what they're doing. So that's not even come into it yet. We're not in some far-flung jungle forest doing this, that, and the other, or we haven't even entered that sort of realm yet of a storyline, if you like. We just want to sort of thrash out: is it achievable to bring in these things before we go writing a scenario for it? Because there isn't much point in being able to do all of this without that side of it as well. But leave it with us. We're beavering away. We're beavering away.
Ray says, I think MilSim for just refers to there being a more real-world tactics involved, so you don't get a skirmish. But again, the tactics are scaled down as no matter how you do it, it's the consequences. Yeah. Dale says, letting the little fish go to preserve ammunition for the bigger fight to come. Exactly that.
That's it, Dave. It's making them tactical decisions.
Oh, sorry. I've just realised that Rage's comment continues. No matter how you do it, the consequences are not the same, which completely changes the dynamic of how people operate.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. That makes more sense now.
Terry says more patrolling and proper recons over the weekend.
Recce's. He says Recce's there. Read it. It says Recce's there. It clearly says it.
It says Recce's. Paulus Wales has been to games before where the players go and eat lunch at their car, which is just gash. Yeah, completely agree with that. I think any MilSim where
love that word
stops for lunch is not a MilSim, in my opinion.
Tea and biscuits.
Tea and biscuits. Well, this is the thing.
Well, me and Terry, we had tea in the field.
You can have lunch. I'm not suggesting you don't have any food at all, but like you have your food as part of the game.
Yeah,
it's not like game stopped. We're all going to go off and.
I actually brewed up for my captors at the weekend. I got a little brew out the belt kit. The old Crusader Cup came out. Brew on.
Yeah.
Terry was there, like flies to shit. That's the squaddy in him. As soon as I got the Crusader out, put a brew on it. He's like, "Hello, mate. Well, thank. Yeah, you want coffee? You're all lovely, tar."
Right, for other questions in the chat, we've got some prepared stuff. But if there's anything anyone wants to discuss, it's always good to have a chat about. Really,
boy, I was part of this stuff. You were, Terry. You were part of this conversation, mate. Yes.
I just wanted to come back to Harry, who's had a bit more information on the Vortex.
Breaking news.
If you drop it and smash it, it's fine. It's covered by the warranty. But there was a case recently of a lens shot out with a BD, and it was either a Crossfire or a Spitfire, I believe, and a Vortex refused it.
What's the fucking difference? Damage is damage, isn't it?
I don't know. It'd be an interesting one.
You've dropped the scope on the floor and it's broke the lens, or it's been shot whilst you've used it while you're using it. You've dropped it, or you're using it on your rifle, which is where I guess a rifle scope's supposed to go.
I mean, there might be more to the story there. We don't know.
Moral of the story is, if you do get your lens shot out, just don't tell Vortex that you've got it shot out. Just tell them that you've dropped it, and then it's all good. That's ridiculous.
Well, that's what I mean. There might be more to that. It might be maybe, I don't know, maybe someone shot it out because so the Vortex warranty, as far as I understand,
maybe it could have been a
jealous
lover.
For example, it's not like if you scratch it and there's like a bit of a scratch down the side that they just replace it. If you see what I mean. So they, I think they fix it and they.
Andy Bob's just commented in there that the Vortex could probably be a fake. Chris has said there is some good clones popping up, so when people are getting cloned ones and sending them into Vortex, chance in their hand.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There might be some other stuff to it. You don't know.
We can't say what we think because we have no information. You have no power here.
He has had to turn down a load due to them being fake.
Okay.
Well,
there we go then. That may well shed some more light on the story.
Andy, is sorry, when you say Chris, I assume Chris is from Vortex?
Chris is Vortex, mate.
Oh, look, we're exposing stuff here. This is cool. This is like news in action. Nick says, "Can you use Shmuly's rocket flares now in night events?"
No comment.
I don't know what that is. What's a Shmuly?
Shmuly is the flare in the green tube.
Oh, okay.
Essentially a burning block of magnesium on a parachute. It slowly falls to
right.
Earth over approximately 90 seconds. Ooh, whoa! I'm a ball of magnesium.
Oh, okay.
Oh, look,
Ray
it can be a
says-
ball of magnesium. Look. Oh! Sorry.
You're right, Lance. Do you want to?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I think I had one too many. Sugars in my tea there.
Yeah. Caffeine and sugar, clearly an issue. Ray says Chris is the Vortex UK guy. That's interesting.
Chris Vortex sounds like a wrestler. I love him.
Vortex, mate. He is the UK distro and has a nickname, Captain Vortex.
Captain.
That's interesting. Maybe we should get him on the show at some point. That might be an interesting.
I want to meet Captain Vortex. I hope he wears tights and like a
Vortex.
cape. I want him in tights and a cape.
Vortex.
Who are you going to be then? Should we all be captains?
No, I'm going to reach out to him. I'm Captain Condom, apparently. So.
Oh yeah, you'll have to wear your hat. I'm Captain's. Well, no, I'm not going to be Salad. I'll have to think of a.
Salad.
Oh, let's have a sideline competition at Christmas.
General Salad.
I want a captain's name. I'll wait for it now. Just give it 30 seconds.
Yeah. Right. I mean, talking about the flares, I've seen some flares at some airsoft games. Whether they've been event sanctioned ones, I don't know.
Blackbeard. They didn't he die of a horrendous venereal disease or something?
I don't know.
Captain Lance. Les. Go fuck yourself.
Question: where's the best place to get one of those cool mortars? I want something else that goes bang. So, the mortars that Harry's talking about are the sort of, I guess, 500 to 600 mil paramortars, typically made out of a bit of scaffold tube. We were playing around with some of those at the weekend. They run the 38 mil. I want to say TSLFX, but I think they're FSB is now. I think they're FSB. I think they're FSB now, are they? We've talked about them previously on the show. I mean, you can make them. They are effectively a tube welded to a plate. I think Andy Bob's actually making one at the moment. He sent me a photo the other day that
I've seen that. Yeah, construction is underway.
Yeah, he's been building one. So Wayne also, there you go, fresh meat. He is a bit of a mortar fanatic, I think I could probably go as far to say. So if anyone's interested in how you make one, I would hit up Andy Bob or Fresh Meat.
Yeah, Wayne, Fresh Meat is a mortar super fan.
Yes. I can tell you the noise it makes. It goes boom.
Shake the room. It does shake the room.
Except the one round I fired at the weekend, which just went boom, and that was it. Never landed, apparently. So.
Well, did it launch though?
It launched. It went.
Right.
It just
I wasn't sure if you just like dropped a thermobaric down it and just like bang.
Just smoke. Just.
It's a shame.
Fresh Meat says love them. Done 3 so far.
Oh yeah,
highly recommend.
You popped Ratty's mortar cherry, didn't you, at the weekend? Didn't you?
We did.
You let him get hold of yours, and you fired a couple off, and
yeah. Wonderful. I love the mortars. I mean, in all honesty, they are probably one of the more expensive ways to not hit anything. But they
just
are
for the sound it makes, and that one
immersion thing, isn't it?
That one small chance where you do actually get it.
Yeah.
You're like, yes.
You have the what the belts? I can't remember what the belt's called.
Bandolier.
The bandolier of like 11 mortar rounds, which I think is like the equivalent of like 77 quid. And you just shoot through it, and you're like, yeah, round's complete. Oh, I'm so poor now.
Yeah, it's costing me so much money. I usually cry when I fire mine.
Yeah. Just hear that boom, cha-ching.
Yeah, I just go £8.
Yeah. Harry says I could only 3D print one, but I have seen them for $199. So yeah, you can buy. I think TSLFX.
Was that Bruce Almighty when he's reading the news?
TLSFX. Yeah, I think you can. I think they do actually do one you can buy. I need to find out what shop that is. I don't think it's been in stock for quite a while. You want to look up
the 38mm para infantry mortar.
Oh, they are a shop. Cool. So it's actually from the TLSFX website. They've got to change their name. You can actually
let's call
buy
it
those.
T-Fex.
Yeah, we'll just call it the
Tees-
Pyro Company.
T-Fex.
Hang on, I've lost it. Where's it gone?
Griffin Mike's hard shaft and anticipation was a highlight of the weekend. Good God, is it really?
Ratty doesn't get out much.
No wonder he went to bed early. And I'm spent.
Right, hang on. I'm coming. We'll get there. There we go. Right, so that's the 38mm paramortar. So you can get that. That's 258 quid.
Is that fully adjustable as well? In the pitch of it? Sorry, just popped my bud out.
I believe so. Yep. So you've got there's a plate, and I think that's a hinge joint there.
Oh, same as my one then. Yeah. I haven't got that one. I have one made for me.
Subsequently, you can also buy the additional rounds. There's £7 there. I think you can get them cheaper if you get them in bulk. That's what we generally tend to do. They do a variety of bang and smoke and all sorts of good and wonderful stuff.
I'll tell you what. I popped a couple of smokes over the weekend from FBS, and they were the dual vent. And they're no bigger than the 38mm. The mortar round, the standard size mortar and 38mm. Blah blah blah. I don't know how long they are as such, but very impressed with how it vents at both ends. The actual cover it gives is I had no idea. I thought they were just out the tops. So whether I've been mistakenly sent a couple of dual venters in my last order, but these bad boys, mate, were proper and so easy to carry about. It's not like the big cans or anything like that. It's a nice small. You can get a good bit of distance on it. And initially it just went like churned up a bit of smoke, a bit of white smoke, but then it went both ends, and I was like, whoa, hello. Wicked bit of kit, very impressive. And that's the FBS Flashbang Smoke. Look them up on Instagram. They're wicked, absolutely.
I think FBS is a rebrand of TSLFX.
Yeah,
possibly.
whether they've taken on their bits and bobs or something, I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, the thermobaric grenade was very impressive from FBS, and the smoke grenades I used was very very good. Obviously, the
I would say I have bought.
Very good,
I've bought an FBS smoke. I bought a few of those, and I have had at least one of those not go off, whereas I've never had an Enola Gay not go off.
What, smoke grenade?
Yeah,
I've had loads of them.
Just quality wise, you've had never go off.
Not Enola Gay. I've had the pins break on them, everything. The Enola Gay Mark 5s is.
Yeah, no, the EG Mark 5s, because the little striker cap comes off, and you're like,
that's why they're £1.20 or whatever it is. If that. I just don't rate the quality of them at all. The actual performance when they work, it's a good bang, this, that, and the other. The smoke's good when they do work, but you can't rely on it. You can't rely on them.
And the other one I did want to talk about, Rage, is just kind of reminded me, is the tag-in mortar. So they're working currently, the same people that make tag rounds, they're working on a mortar as well.
Wicked.
Which is meant to be fairly accurate. From what I've seen videos-wise, it tends to be, you've actually got guys there with the proper sort of calibration on the tube, both the back calibration and the side calibration. I don't know what the
tag round is no different.
And one's elevation.
The size of it is not. It's not too dissimilar from like a 40mm grenade, is it? But it's got the coned end, isn't it? Yeah. So obviously their trajectory in that wise would be better. Whether they've got to calculate obviously the length of the tube to the force of the round exiting it, sort of gauge distancing and stuff like that. Yeah, that'd be cool to see. I wonder if they'd be able to do it so you can actually drop a round in as well. Boom, boom, where it hits the percussion cap at the bottom.
I think it was. I can't remember now. I'd have to double check.
That would, for me, be the only element missing from obviously the mortars that we use is the whole strike and drop. It's not the biggest. It's not the end of the world at all. They're still awesome, but being able to just drop a loaded round and just like drop it in and hear it, that would be. Legion Mike from Legion Airsoft. There was a video of him and a colleague test firing their mortar. It's a couple of years old now, the video, but I'm sure you could find it on the Legion Facebook page or on their YouTube. And that's a wicked bit of kit. That's actually got the charge is actually inside an actual mortar. It's got the wings and that on it, like the feathered tail, like a normal mortar round, and you could drop that down the tube and it fires the charge out the mid center of the cone. Then you just eject it and drop a new one in. That looks really smart. Yeah, it's definitely worth a look.
It's the if you search, we can probably try and post this on a few places. It's the tag-in Dominus mortar, and there's a video on YouTube of that you can find.
The tag-in Dominus Sangators. Dominoes. Sorry.
Oh, there you go. Harry, apparently the tagging Dominus is coming soon. Literally, there you go.
There he is. He's on it, mate. On it like a carb on it.
Yeah. For launching pyro at the minute, nothing compares to tag rounds, 100-meter range, and very accurate. I was posting them through the windows at Longmoor. Yeah.
Nice.
Ratty says, what are the different types of pyro used in MilSims? Heard you guys mention Mark 5s. Don't know anything about pyro. Ratty, will refer you back to, there's a pyro episode we did, just for the sake of time, so we don't sort of cover too much of stuff that we've kind of already talked about before.
Bloody hell.
Right,
yeah. Mark 5's Ratty is the noise. So you get Mark 9s, Mark 5s, Mark 4s, Mark
Never
2s.
buy a Mark 3. They are cack.
Yeah, Mark 3s just go.
I've had Mark 3s before, which you've launched into a room and you don't genuinely know if it's gone off.
Yeah. Sounds like an apple's just fallen off the table.
Yeah.
What was that?
It'd be quicker to shouting bang.
Yeah. So your Mark 5s is your basic all-rounder. Some sites say you can only use Mark 3s or something after a certain time, and then by that time, it's not much point. You might as well wait till you can use your Mark 5s again. Mark 9s, some sites are allowed. And then obviously you've got your smokes. Your thermobaric is more of a night bang, because I think the thermobaric side of it gives off a nice white flash and a deeper sound. But with the FBS ones and the TLSFX ones, you get TLSFX, said it nice and quick. You see, I didn't even fluff it. Give them a shake. If they've been sitting for a while, give them a bit of a shake up before you use them. Smokes, the mortar rounds, everything. Always give them a bit of a shake up. So that all the other stuff doesn't settle inside it. The old black powder.
Episode 15, by the way, is Balla Bing, Balla Boom. We went.
I didn't know that either. That wasn't me.
Yeah, we went through and did pyro stuff. So there you go. Probably got time for a few more questions. So keep throwing them into the chat if anyone's got any. Blah blah. What was ones? Yeah. If you can only choose one option to use the remainder of your time taking part in a MilSim, what would it be and why for the following options? Shelter and tent, sleeping and cooking. Your general loadout, e.g. plate carrier, chest, a rig, assault rig, vest or webbing. So let's just cover these very, very quickly. So shelter and tent.
If I had to only use what?
You can only use one option to use the remainder of your time taking part in MilSim.
Oh, bloody hell. Basher.
Yeah, I would say Basher. It's just the most versatile bit of kit you got.
Without question. Yeah. Basher.
Sleeping?
It'd just be my all set up DOS bag with my bivvy and my if I had to, I'll go over roll mat and sort of like my thermarest mat. Just ground sleeping. If I had to choose one, I mean, obviously you've got hammocks the most comfortable, but it's only dependent on the location. Whereas you can use a roll mat on the floor anywhere. There's floor everywhere. Sometimes there's not trees.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd go keep it simple. Floor, bivvy bag, roll mat, DOS bag, Basher.
See, if I was only ever going to use one bit of one product,
I'd use my car.
No, I was going to say I've been recently looking at getting a I think it's called Mountain Equipment, the brand, but it's the sort of equipment that they use for mountain rescue. So it's all down. It's designed basically to compact as small as possible, but give you the best thermal efficiency. I've been talking to a friend of mine used to do search and rescue on Dartmoor. Longmoor's the UTC. I used to do search and rescue on Dartmoor, and he's been telling me about this mountain equipment bags, which they are pretty pricey. We're talking maybe £600 for a sleeping bag. But that being said, they do compact down. It's the equivalent, like the down coats that you can buy, which compact down to the sides of that, but are as good thermally as something that
that's
cheaper stuff.
I'm with you, like 4 or 5 times the size of it. Yeah.
So I would probably say that if I was going to use one bit of kit for the rest of my life, I'd probably invest in that, on the basis that I can't afford that, and it's a lot cheaper and easier basically to buy potentially a new sleeping bag every 3 or 4 years if I absolutely needed to. But sleeping bags last a long time. But what I'd probably try and compact that down a little bit. But yeah, as Lance said, DOS bag, bivvy bag, jungle blanket, that sort of stuff, basically.
Yeah. Let's just keeping it simple. At the end of the day, if you can only have one sort of bit of kit or one setup for your remainder of your time MilSimming, then yeah, just keep it nice and easy.
Yeah.
Easy, low maintenance. Just keep it nice and easy, man. Best way to be.
Cooking.
Yeah, I'd go with a solid fuel. I wouldn't go jet boil. If I had to just choose one, it'd be like I'd probably be my Crusader setup.
Yeah,
the Crusader Cup with the Dragonfire fuel cells or Heximane blocks or whatever it is you can get hold of. And like I said, like I've harked on about it over and over again. Even if you haven't got the solid fuel blocks or anything, you can use twigs or whatever it is, some other form of fuel to burn to create heat to warm your brew up or your food. You're not reliant on a can of gas or anything like that. So yeah, I'd go again. Keep it simple. It's essentially, I mean, Christ, you can use 3 nails. When Terry was saying about it over the weekend, and I've seen it before. I've actually got a little kit up there. It's a little bit of black heat shrink and some black electrical tape because both of them are really good fire starting devices. And I've got 3 temp pegs which I've sort of trimmed down and manipulated, so you can just stick all 3 of them in the ground and rest your cup on top of it. Once you've unwound your electrical tape, you've got your fuel source there to get your fire started. At least we can get some little sticks in it under there. Great, 3 little nails, probably about that long, bit of tape around them. Just chuck them in the pouch, and that's your cooking system there. Essentially, that's how small and easy you can make it. You make it easy, like So that was quite cool. See, hearing Terry, who's done it for real. When he mentioned that, he said, "Yeah, the old 3 nails thing." I was like, "Oh, fucking of course, I read about that." Yeah. So I've looked that up, but he's actually done it. That's the difference between real and not real.
See, I do like. I mean, this. Terry's made the point there. As airsoft as we take so much creature comforts, I do like having the gas system because it is quick. You can just turn it on, you can turn it off, and once it's off, it's off. Whereas obviously if you've got a fire going, it's not quite as quick to pack down and stuff. But that being said, if it was one thing for the rest of my life, then yeah, probably like the little hex stove.
It's like my brother-in-law said to me. He's like, when they're on exercises, everyone's got jet balls and things like that. He said they just get completely taken off of them. He said because it's creating that lazy soldering. They're not using the skill set. They're not digging their the little fire pit sort of thing, tiny little hole like that, just to put the hexamine block in to hide the flame, hide the light source. This, that, and the other. As great as they are out on ops or if you're on deployment or anything like that, or on a tour, he said, but when we're doing exercise and that, it's always, you're using not the standard kit, but you're using solid fuel, this, that, and the other, just for keeping them over their survival skills and making sure they're using skills that they've been taught. So which is all good.
General loadout, e.g., plate carrier, chest breed, assault vest, or webbing.
I'll go webbing. If I had to choose one, I'd go webbing.
I don't know. See, I like using the plate carrier, but I am conscious at the moment that, to be honest, this was based on the conversation I think we had over the weekend, which was, obviously the assault vests are good, but if you are tabbing around the forest, then you need to carry more kit on you than the assault vests normally have. They're typically designed for low profile. Oh, you just lost your camera, Lance. You're typically designed as like low profile with the ability to kind of crawl through holes in building, get through doorways and things like that. Lance will be coming back. Oh, hang on. Where's our technical difficulties thing? There we go. We got it there. Way!
Oh, hello.
But I have been looking at webbing sets a little bit more recently, and I am debating kind of getting an MTP webbing set sort of kitted up. I've got a DPM one that I use quite a lot. I say I use quite a lot. I've got it permanently set up. I think I've used it twice. But I've never taken that apart because I'm always conscious if I ever need that setup, it's already done and dusted. That being said, being a large gent, it is a little bit difficult to find webbing sets that fit me. So the DPM one that I've come up with, I've actually had to make myself. But that being said, again, the Warrior Battle Belt that I'm using at the moment seems it would be a perfect base for kind of putting a webbing set together.
There we go, mate.
So I'm debating kind of building one on that.
I built a custom one for myself. I didn't buy. You can get them in the pouches and that all sewn in there. I just got a three row Molly belt, a nice big padded one. with the low profile yoke, which you can get. Obviously, then you can put an assault vest or a plate carrier or body armor over the top of the webbing, depending on what you're doing, and then just sort of tailored it to what I want, what pouches I want on there, this and the other, which is cool. And then plus because it's molly, if you want to change it out at some point or lighten it or change the orientation of it, you can. It's not all stitched in. Although the stitched in ones are cool, don't get me wrong, they're wicked. And once you've got it, and that's it. You have to work with it. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm just wanting a bit more versatile and be able to mix it up for it too. So
see, because I was the DPM one I've got was an adapted PLCE system. So for those that don't know, the PLCE basically has little almost like a little T-shaped bit of metal that sits on a separate. If you imagine a row of molly running along like the inside of the belt, it's got a separate bar that goes into that, and it stops the pouches from sliding along, so they don't actually clip to anything. They latch onto the belt, and then the bar holds them.
It's like a prong, isn't it? It actually goes through like the old, like within the belt is it's like micro molly in it almost, and it just pushes down into it, and then you got the Velcro strap and the popper that goes round. Good, nice.
But with the battle belt system, because it is effectively just molly that you've got on you, it's a lot more, I would probably say, versatile. I found molly systems a lot easier to kind of build and adapt. Whereas
if you have a look at Dragon Supplies, mate, because they do some really good setups, webbing setups and stuff like that.
This is the other thing. I could potentially pay someone to make me a custom thing, but I like to try and do it myself if I can, just because it's cheaper.
100%.
But yeah. Rage says, I'll be honest, unless it's one of the newer issue ones, Warrior make a good military type Bergen. Oh, sorry, we're talking Bergens now. I thought that was about.
No, Ratty asked about.
I'll come back to Ratty's question because that was quite a good one. Looking into Bergens at the moment, what size is best for a weekend event similar to the one just gone? 60 litres, 100 litres, etc. Also, any particular issued one that is best to look out for? So, if I can just cover the reason that I've procured the additional.
He's bought another fucking Bergen.
So the Virtus systems are slightly different to old school Bergens. The zips on the side apparently are not compatible with the older style pouches, the rocket pouches. They just have a different zip setup. So I've come up with a product to fix that, and I will be chatting to somebody to try and come up with and stitch that together, which is basically like a little adapter strip, so you can just put the two together, because that to me makes perfect sense. You want to try and make them adaptable and modular. But the zips are different, so I would suggest probably going with the older school Bergens myself. So, for example, like the DPM, MTPs, ODs, anything like that, like the proper long back, short back. I think they're 100 litres, aren't they, those Bergens?
I think you get the main pack itself is 100 litres, and then you get two. No, that's like so. You get the main pack's 90 litres, and each rocket pouch is 15 litres added on, which will give you your 120 litre Bergen essentially, whether it's short back or long back. If you can get a short back, go short back. Because if you do use webbing or a battle belt, when you've got your Bergen on, it sits above the webbing. Whereas if you've got a long back Bergen, it can sort of hang down around the small of your back, around the top of your hips, and it can sort of where your webbing is there, the bag sort of like can be sitting down there. Whereas a short back, it's like bang on top, which is nice, which is what you want. So yeah, short backs all the way if you can. If you're going to go down the surplus route, which is nothing wrong with it at all. All my Bergens are surplus. I mean, I'm just lucky that the one I've got was my brother-in-law's, so it's nicely tailored. Which he obviously had done at the camp tailor when he was in. So yeah, I'm very lucky to have that one. But yeah, I've had a few. I've still got them now. There's nothing wrong with them at all. They are solid. You will get some that have been repaired. And usually the repairs have been done by a tailor. I mean, it'll just be heavy stitched, repaired holes or rips or whatever in it. But you can get grade 1, grade 2, grade A, super grade, super plus. But you'll pay for it. I mean, it'll be, the better condition it's in, the more you're going to pay. But there's nothing wrong with them. You might have to add a bit of padding. I've padded my shoulder straps out on my Bergen with some heavy duty pipe lagging and desert sniper tape. Just basically put a load of pipe lagging around it, load of sniper tape. Lovely and comfortable. Really spreads the load, and the good thing about it is it makes them straps a little bit wider just to spread across you, because you can find them after if you wear it for a while, which I haven't. It's not like we've walked a great distance with them on. But even putting it on, you can feel it sort of digging in. So you can only imagine, going on a patrol, having to bump into your patrol into your harbour area, wherever it is you're going to be setting up. You know, if it's like that, when you just put it on, you know, just adding that bit of protection to it, that padding is going to make it more comfortable in it. So, yeah, nothing wrong with the surplus gear, mate. You know, just be careful, be mindful of what you order. Make sure you read up on it, and there's plenty of good pictures. If there's not, if you get it from eBay or something like that, and it's just like one picture of the Bergen, but the price looks good, send them a message. I'll request some more pictures or something if you can. You know,
I mean, that's obviously for the sort of second-hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Cheap route. I mean, Rage makes a good point. You know, I'll be honest, unless it's one of the newer issue ones, Warrior make a good military type Bergen. You pay for it. Personally, I prefer rucksacks as they're far more comfortable. Things like Osprey, Low Alpine, and such. So that's an alternative. The one thing I did just want to talk about very quickly is that if you are looking at anything like that, we obviously now have on our website a variety of discount codes and bits and pieces that you can hopefully use and make use of to try and save yourself a little bit of money. So under the Intel section, if I can, there we go, down here. So Prepper Shop, we've managed to secure 10% discount with Prepper Shop, and Surplus Saw is a 5% discount. So if you go onto those websites, they actually have Bergens on there. So if you're looking for something, you know, a variety of stuff, we use this shop all the time, and it's one of the reasons that we recommend it.
Yeah.
Bergen loads. I mean, there's other stores out there as well. Places like Semaphore and Maidstone. Pretty much any military surplus store, to be honest with you. But there's a variety of bits and pieces on here if you're looking for something cheap. You know, you've got the side pouches and things like that. Dutch DPM Woodland Bergen 60 litres. You know, these are the that's not a Virtus. These are sort of the older school military ones. They do have a Virtus on there.
Was that £12.50 down the bottom there?
Yep, grade 2 Bergen, £12.50.
That's unbelievable. Genuine British military issue MTP Bergen. Now, is that a short back or a long? That looks like a long back to me.
We'll find out. Oh, they haven't got it in stock anyway.
Bugger.
But yeah, I mean, this is a good shop. Obviously, you could potentially save yourself a little bit of extra money as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've also got others on there as well. So if you're looking for a cheap backpack that you want to kind of give it a go, really. I mean,
and I do recommend if you do use Prepper Shop, do sign up to their deals. I know a lot of people when you say, "Oh, would you like to hear from us regarding that?" Because I'm not being funny. When they do some flash sales, you get some absolute bargains come through, and otherwise you'll miss it. Otherwise, but it is worth subscribing.
See, if you sign to the mailing list, you receive 5% off your next order. If you go through November Foxtrot, we give you 10%.
So you can get 15% there.
Does that add up? I don't know if it's cumulative. Don't start.
It might be. It might be.
It might be. Who knows? But there's other things in there as well. They obviously do. These are their flash deals. I think that does just take you to a page about crossbows from memory. Yeah, just talks about crossbows. But anyway, before we lose our YouTube stream. So Terry also advises, go into a store if you can, as you can try it on and see what you're getting. It's a good shop.
Yeah, and there's nothing quite like the smell of a surplus store.
I love a good surplus store.
You cannot beat a surplus store which is bursting at the seams with stuff. Yeah. I love it. It's like Aladdin's cave. Wonderful.
Warrior X300 is the one that Rage was thinking of. 200 quid, but I've heard really good things about it. That's the thing. I mean, if you can spend pretty much what you want on backpacks and rucksacks and any kit really.
Whatever your budget it suits to. Obviously, don't go. You can't go too cheap or unheard of or anything like that. You've got to be careful. Having said that, I've picked up some cheap items that have been absolutely brilliant. Flawless. Couldn't fault it. It can be a bit of a minefield. I mean, I just trust British Army surplus stuff because it works for what I need it to do. I'm not going to be frontline using it for real. But having said that, you still want it to last you, and it's tried and tested kit in it. So I've never had any issues with it, so I can quite happily say it's all been good. But just be mindful of what grade you get it in. If you can get the super grade stuff or the grade 1. Grade 2 normally 99% of the time is that it's had a slight bit of damage, but it's been repaired correctly and properly. Do you know what I mean? So if you see a grade 2 thing, or there might be a very minute bit of scuffing to the corner of the bag where it's been put down and picked up, put down, it start rubbing against walls or, hard floors, you might get that, which is, no biggie. And obviously when you get into the grade 3s, that's when it's been like the proper bit of damage and there's like a severe rip and it's been stitched and repaired as best as possible. Just be careful with it, what you're ordering. Yes.
Right, so we've got a review. Should we read the review?
Oh, yes, let's read the review.
Would you like to read the review?
Have I got the review?
It's the one from Ratty on Facebook.
Oh, can you do it? Because I can't find it that quick.
Okay. Every day after work, I have a shower.
It's got it in front of him and he's asking me to read it.
Yeah, I'll give you the opportunity to read it. So Ratty, 5 stars, says, recommends November Foxtrot. Every day after work, I have a shower. But on Wednesday nights, I like to pamper myself by soaking in a long, hot bubble bath while watching 2 chaps talking about their penchant for cavorting in the woodland playing with their weapons. There is no other men that I would rather join me in the bath than Mike and Lance.
That's wonderful. Very nice. Thank you, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Tennis clap for
the German accent. I'm not reading that one in German accent. That's how we start getting
in a German accent.
There's already enough comments going around about the whole NF being, the National Front and stuff. I don't want to start going down the route of just upsetting people stereotypically.
It's nothing to do with that at all.
It's nothing to do with that at all.
No, it's not. It's about nut fucking.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Cool. Right. Well, that's pretty much the end of the episode for this week. I apologise. I know there's lots of comments that have been coming in from people. I know Nick says, will you be doing a budget versus top range kit test?
Do you know
possibly?
what? We did have a question come in regarding that, but we'll save that for maybe for next week or something. We'll cover it. I'm sure that came in from Instagram in that list I sent you, mate.
You did. It was.
I
can't afford top of the range kit, so I'm worried about getting into MilSim for 2 reasons: A, the kit I can afford not being good enough, and B, getting looks from other people and comments as my kit wouldn't be as good as theirs. Should we talk about that very quickly?
Go on in. Yeah, we're all right. Go on, we're all right. So read that again, sorry, Mike, because we brushed.
That's fine. I can't afford top of the range kit as I'm worried about getting into MilSim for 2 reasons. A, the kit I can afford not being good enough, and B, getting looks from people and comments as my kit wouldn't be good as theirs.
Oh, what? No,
I don't think you have to have top of the range kit, and I think anybody that looks down on you for that
is a massive
dickhead.
Yeah.
That being said, I know that there is an element of elitism in Airsoft, and to a certain extent, some people can afford more expensive kit than others. Night vision and thermal being a big barrier between sort of 2 groups of people. But you don't have to, I think if anybody's genuinely looking down on you as a new Airsoft MilSim player,
even someone who's a seasoned player who maybe they choose not to want that.
Yeah, of course.
If anyone to turn around and be like, oh, well, no, I'm not going with you because you've not got that. Fucking hell, come on, mate. That's a bit. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't like that at all.
I guess there's 2 elements to it. I guess the way I was looking at it was people not necessarily having all the kit that they would need.
Yeah, that's different. That's different.
For example, if you've got a seasoned player that's trying to chav off your sleeping bag or something, that's a poor example. But, they're like, oh, I didn't bring my cook set with me. I think there is an element of, well, you should really have that on you. That's the sort of thing you need for your event.
Talking about this question, I think if you're smart with what you get and you get yourself first and foremost, I'd have a look at our list on our site, and
another cheeky plug.
And we must put a bare bones one together as well. We must put a bare bones for you.
Well, I'm going to be putting a bare bones one, and I'm also going to be putting a new dad going to hospital one, because that's the sort of thing that I've found useful.
Yeah, fair play.
So,
but I'd get a list of the minimum stuff you'd want. I wish we knew who that was. I'll have to look back from my Instagram now because I got that privately sent to me. And go from there, really. I mean, essentially, it will cost you a bit to get into it. It doesn't have to cost a fortune.
Didn't we prove it? I think it was like 200 quid, wasn't it? Something like
200, 300 quid maybe, and it's not including like your normal loadout that you'd have already for skirmishing. Yeah, but I mean, But like for a good condition basher, for example, anywhere between sort of 20. I haven't seen too many for 25. It's sort of like more 35, 40 pounds at the moment for a good solid basher. A good surplus sleeping bag's around 40, 50 quid. Again, the bivvy bag is about 30, 35 quid. Roll mat, you can pick them up for $9.99 if that. Do you know what I mean? I think you could do it. I think you could do it, and I think you could remain safe while you did it as well. That's the one concern I'd be is that the gentleman or the lady who's asked that question saying they'd be worried that their budget doesn't stretch to get all they'd need for a MilSim. I think the case would be it might just take you a little bit longer to get all the stuff that you need for a MilSim. Not that it won't stretch to it at all. And like we said, anyone who says, "Oh, your shelter's shit," well, 1, does it keep you dry? 2, does it keep the wind off of you? 3, is it easy to put up and you competent at using it? Then if it ticks all in 3 boxes, then you can just literally just turn around and just tell them to fuck off. Mind your business. You do your thing. I do my thing. Quite happy with that. I'm not questioning your kit. You're not questioning my kit.
We've said in the past, even if you've got a little cheap tent that you're using, you can go down Argos and I think you can get a tent for like 30 quid. So you're not quite level. You're not quite like basher level. You're not ready to just go under a tarp.
Yeah.
You go and buy a cheap tent. Ultimately, all right, it might be red, but then you can throw a camo net over it or something like that. It's not the end of the world.
That. It isn't. It isn't the end of the world. I mean, obviously, there might be events where you won't be allowed to use that. It's got to be very strict loadout. Whether that rule set is just for your main base layers and like your rig and your rifle, or whether that then extends down to the actual kit you're using out in the field, I don't know. But I'd certainly wouldn't let it scare you away at all from getting into it. Like I say, get yourself a list together, get yourself a budget. And then just start shopping around for them deals. Shop for them deals.
Yep.
That's what you want.
Rage says, spend the money on important stuff, boots, sleeping and such. Everything else you can get cheap and will work fine.
There we go, mate. Absolutely.
Terry says, it's not about kit. Just get out and enjoy yourself at the end of the day, as long as you go home thinking that was amazing. Job done.
Good man.
Andy says, it's a game at the end of the day. We're all there to have fun and look after each other. End of. Cheap kit or expensive kit. We're all grown men and women running around with toy guns. So there you go.
Exactly that. Yeah, I find it hard to believe that someone would berate someone else over there. I was purely pulling these names out of it. Someone owning some Warrior kit and someone not owning some Warrior kit. I find it hard to believe somebody would be like, "Oh, that's fucking terrible."
I don't find that hard to believe, to be honest with you. I can see that happening. Yeah.
I couldn't.
No, there are. Yeah. I can see that being a thing. I don't think it probably applies quite so much to your shelter and stuff like that necessarily.
What you mean? You look sort of like your loadout in principle.
I can see the loadout and stuff. I think people do get a little bit kind of snobby about loadouts and things. You just have to look on a lot of the Facebook groups and that where everyone's bitching about Viper stuff. I've got Viper stuff. Some of it's particularly good. Some of it isn't. Same with some other products I've had. I think, to name a good example of a product that it costs a lot and I don't use. So the Warrior DCS comes with a little radio pouch type thing that I think just sits inside the plate carrier. I don't use that. The first thing I took out of the plate carrier was that when I got it, because I just found it really uncomfortable. It was annoying to have it there. There's good and bad things about all stuff, but I think there's a lot of there you go. Rage says cry and claw gear is the ones. People, there's the whole, the ones that people bang on about. I don't know, Rage, some of your comments seem to be coming in 2 different layers. But yeah, cry gear, you always get the people that like, cry or die type thing. And that's fine. People can have the expensive kit if they want it, but ultimately it's a game. We're not in the army. We're not,
Yeah, I mean, like I say, if you're, and by no way, shape, or form are we trying to poo-poo people who use cry gear or claw gear or whatever. All. Because if your budget stretches to it, fine, great, fantastic, brilliant. But I just find it hard to believe that someone who would use that stuff would then sort of automatically then look down on someone who doesn't use it. I don't know. I don't know whether that's. I don't know. I just find it hard to believe that someone would be like that. I guess I'm not that sort of person.
You don't hang out enough with the people that do.
Yeah, I really couldn't give a. If I'm brutally honest, if someone had a Viper chest rig on, and I've got a Warrior DCS chest rig, it's not cheap, but it's not the most expensive one in the world. And someone next to me with a Viper one or a neutral one, I couldn't give a fuck really.
No,
I really couldn't give a toss, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. If not, I'm not trying to be horrible to the person who's got a Viper or a neutral rig, but it doesn't bother me in the slightest. Whatever, mate. You know, if it works for you, then fucking crack on. I couldn't give a monkey.
Terry says, "I have cried. I'm not like that. Please tell me I'm not like that."
No, far, like that, Terry. If you're far from that, mate, I tell you, far from.
But this is the thing, you know. Ultimately, the more expensive products, I think, do have merits to them. You know, I mean, the UF.
I mean, they're used by special forces. They're used by our serving soldiers all over the world. So their place is warranted in those areas and that, you know. I've got a £60 pair of Viper trousers with the tactical knee pads and all that thing in them. I've had them for 3 years now. I've never ripped, torn, or nothing. You know, it is what it is. If they ripped, I probably wouldn't be as pissed off as I would. I mean, at the end of the day, if you dived over a barricade or something, there's a nail sticking out of it, and you shredded the trouser leg of the £60 pair of Vipers as opposed to a £350 pair of Cries, I'll tell you what ones I would be upset about.
Yeah.
And I don't care what they're made by. If they get caught on a sharp piece of metal and it's sharp enough, it'll rip through it. Do you know what I mean? So there we go. You know. Yeah.
Helican much better than claw gear and half the price. Completely agree. Although I would say, because I was looking at getting some more Helican trousers.
I don't own anything by Helican. I'm gonna have to get something because you two always bang on about Helican. You and Rage.
I rate Helican, but what I would say is I was unable to find quite a lot of MTP kind of multicam pattern on their website, and what I did find always seemed to be like another 30 quid on top of their kind of cheaper models. Because I was looking at getting some extra trousers and bits and pieces like that. But yeah, it was just started being silly money. So,
look,
just a thought.
Croydon Hammond is piping up. The worst thing is them man was once in that position.
The worst thing. Oh, you've got to read it like Danny. The worst thing is them man.
The worst thing is them man was once in that.
He's not Jamaican.
Position. No, but that's what he says. Like, do you not listed?
Cameron
Croydon
Conkle.
Hammond.
Nice to join. I think Cameron. I think it's Cameron. The first comment that I've seen. Nice to see you. I resent paying the price. Cry products. Not paying over the odds for something I'm not using every day. Exactly.
Yeah, good man. You know? Cameron actually interesting YouTube channel. Cameron Conkle there. I've watched a few of his vids. Yeah, very interesting. Good stuff on the old military kit. Go check him out. He's a good man.
Rage says the UTPs are in multicam. Mike, £70, mate. I know exactly, but I think the trousers I was looking at were the base price of them was about 40.
So should we all go and leave you to your Helican?
No, it was just an interesting assessment, and that you could buy trousers from the Helican website, and they were cheaper if you didn't buy them in multicam.
To the rest of you listeners out there, I'm going to just talk quietly while Mike and Rage continue their conversation.
Hey, me and Rage bigging up the Helican fam. What can I say?
And now, gallery.
Harry says, I started with a zip-up paintball vest, went to an event and chatted to other people about what they're wearing. Most people are happy to chat about the gear and share their knowledge and advice. There you go. I think that's what we want to hear.
That's what we love. No, we like that. We like that. Good man, Harry. Good on you.
Cool. Dale says, fuckers.
Fuckers, that's it. Danny says, fuckers.
Danny, sorry. Dale says, Wagwando, man. My guy, man. I can't even say that.
Wagwando, my guy, man.
Cool.
Like Lance them.
We've now ranted on for about an hour and a half, so we should probably call it a day. What are we doing next week? do we have Mike's free next week?
I believe he is, yes, but I need to confirm it.
Okay, so we potentially
his
have an
shift
episode
basically
lined
got
up.
changed this week. Yeah, but we won't say anything until it's 100%. But unfortunately, Pete Brewer's Pete the Bog shift got changed this week, so hence why he's probably not in the chat now, and I can take the piss out of him without any comebacks. So Pete Brewer,
yeah.
Any other names?
Hopefully we'll have an episode lined up. We will be here next week. It's what we're doing.
Boggy McBogson might be on next week.
Oh, blimey. In the meantime, if you want to get in touch with us, you can do so. Email is our nofochat@hotmail.com. Instagram is November_Foxtrot_NoFo. Facebook is @November Foxtrot NoFo. YouTube is www.youtube.com/Steve/November Foxtrot. And our new website is www.novemberfoxtrot.co.uk. And there's we've been updating that all sorts for the last few days. And there's all sorts of stuff that we're putting on there. New discount codes. There's the link to our competition on there. Basically hit it up. If there's something that if you've been on it last week, it's going to be very different this week on the website because
anything you think we might be missing on there, guys. Like I said, get in touch. There's a contact form on the site. Any ideas or anything you'd like to see on there, that'd be cool. We'll happily look into it. If it's if Mike's able to do it, then we'll happily do it for you. Not me. It'd be Mike doing it.
And also feel free to use the link lance.com. Just because we've got that for a year, and I absolutely love the fact that we have it. So feel free to use that.
Next event, Dale's on Stag for like a day.
I didn't forget Dale. Don't worry, I didn't forget. So basically, next week we'll be here at 8:00. The week after is obviously our Christmas episode, and that'll be on the 17th. So that's Friday the 17th. It'll be 8:00. We'll probably be doing maybe a 2-hour episode. Is that the plan?
Depends how many bevies I get down me. Because it's Christmas.
Might be a 2-hour, 2.5-hour episode. It'll basically be an extended one. We're doing it on a Friday, so hopefully that won't interfere with anyone's sort of Christmas drinks or anything that might be happening.
Everyone else.
It'll be a bit of a laugh. We've got some prizes. There's obviously the competition with the Christmas letter to Santa. We'll probably have some other stuff to give away as well. I know Reaper have been donated stuff left, right, and centre. So we've got a load of stuff from them. To be honest, if anybody else wants to give us anything to donate to our general giveaway, feel free to do so. There's no pressure to do so. We'll be sorting out and sourcing some other bits and pieces as well. And then the next day, the very next day, we'll be at Imperium.
No, Battle Lakes.
Battle Lakes, sorry. Gunman Battle Lakes for their boot fair.
Yes.
So feel free to head down there and you can have a catch up with us. We might be posting some stuff on Instagram as well, just to say hello, show what's going on, and seeing what new stuff we probably will purchase.
Which we won't be purchasing. We're purely there to sell things in case our wives listen to this back.
Yes.
Only selling, no buying.
Merely selling.
Selling.
Other than that, feel free to share us the podcast and stuff because it's always good to just get extra people
and reviews. And review if you've not reviewed us yet.
And
please
reviews.
Review us.
Feel free to ping reviews.
Please be kind. Please be gentle.
Oh, don't be kind and gentle. Just 5 stars.
Just 5. Yeah.
You can rip the shit out of us and we'll still read it if it's a 5-star review. No. We have no dignity left. Cool. Right. Say goodbye, Lance.
Goodbye, Lance.
We'll see you next week.